I'd preferably like to speak to Lieutenant Smith if he's man enough to come out and see me. Oh, figures, as
You
usual.
can pick up the phone there to see if there's a sergeant on duty.
Well, the sergeant isn't going to be able to, correct the behavior of another sergeant, so that's not going to work. So, I mean, who is the most highest person on duty right now? I mean, even Sheriff Honey himself, because.
Well, usually it's the sergeant on duty that you call.
Okay. Well, the sergeant on duty is not going to overrule the authority. Well, I should say correct the behavioral problem of the sergeant at the courthouse, because a sergeant, someone of the same rank trying to supervise another person of the same rank, any sort of supervising, correcting value.
So you have a complaint that you want to
Yes.
talk about? Did you already?
Well, I guess I'll just come back with a complaint form, but really.
You have the form if you want a complaint form.
Well, I'm going to take it out and write it out, space it out, because to the fact that the sergeant didn't have enough probable cause to detain me, and instead of just accepting that and being a man about the situation, he just had a tantrum. He told me, he cursed at me, and I mean, the sergeant and me, we've had our differences, but I never swore at him, I never had a tantrum on him, and this is the second time he's been belligerent to me. I've filed a complaint about the first instance of belligerence. Now this is the second time he's been belligerent. He had
another complaint form then for that?
No, I'll just type it up on the computer and print back, but I'm hoping to speak to somebody in person because I filed 3 complaints against him already, and none of them are being addressed. So the is just continuing and continuing, and this man wants to throw me in jail. He thinks it's a game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. So yeah, Sergeant, if you're watching this, why don't you come down to the Sheriff's Department? Let's get to the point. I mean, yeah, it looks like we're going to have to, I mean, I've, filed complaints against this sergeant. This sergeant, said he's the one that, that he's going to, quote, help me, but freaking he just turned out to be a liar, a traitor to the Constitution that he swore an oath to uphold, and just really a really shameful man. So what happened, ladies and gentlemen, I was in court for the matter of People versus George Boutros. Of course, the media request was denied as usual, but I have my phone ready on standby for the audio in case the media request is approved. Because what I have to do is run all the way back outside the courthouse and get my cameras, because the cameras cannot come in until the media request is approved. So if the media request is approved, when one of the things I have on there is audio, I can let the audio run on my phone while I run out to get the cameras. Now the problem was, the issue that was brung up is, as at the end of the thing there, I was pulling out my phone to unmute it from being on vibrate and close out the audio thing, because we're just about to go to recess, and put it up in my pocket and head on out so it's ready, so I don't miss calls or any notifications now that I'm not going to be in court. And they saw that it was on standby, and they asked if it was recording, and it wasn't. And it clearly showed it wasn't recording. It was in the standby mode, and the deputy saw that. But Sergeant Robert Allen, that wasn't that wasn't sufficient enough for him. And the judge even said, "Oh, evidence." He got a big boner about that. But really, all his evidence is that it was in a mode that it could start recording.
All right. So Smith isn't here. He's the one that you should be able to talk to.
Right.
The other lieutenant is not here. Could be the other one. So there's nobody you can talk to at this moment. So I can take your name and phone number.
No, I'll just come back with the complaint form and deal it that way. So,
okay.
All right. So, the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, is even the judge was in there, right? Even the judge was in there, and they're all like, ooh, direct contempt, and all excited, like, and I'm like, direct contempt. This isn't, even I knew this isn't gonna, go the way that they think that it's gonna go. But if they're gonna try and pull an unlawful arrest on, hearsay, then hey, by all means, like I told the deputy, if I was afraid of getting arrested for standing up for my rights, then I wouldn't be doing this. So, what happens is, they confiscate the phone and they take it into evidence, as they call it, evidence, okay? And I told them, well, do you have a warrant? Oh, no, we're taking it into evidence. And so, like, whatever, let's, do your spiel, let's get this over with. And meantime, I'm taking off my watch and my property, getting ready for the arrest. And, so it was about like 10 minutes, they went even the judge too, before, when they said this, the judge said, well, because we're in recess at this point, and she goes, well, I don't know anything about that. I didn't see anything. The judge admitted she didn't see anything, okay? All they have is that it was in a standby mode, ready to record. Not in the actual process of recording, just all you have to do is press the button, okay? I was in the process of closing that out when they interrupted me, because I have to, punch in the PIN to sign into my phone, because remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a PIN, a password set on your phone, the police can go ahead and just search right through that, okay? So, you have to sign in the PIN, then close, but in the middle of that, so I let them, do their spiel, and he comes back, okay, and he said, we're going to return this. And at that point, he wanted to go on a little rant, and I told him, I don't want to hear it. If we're just going to return back the phone, let's be done with it. Because he said, enough of the games. I'm sick of your shit. No, he said, get your shit and go. That's right, get your shit and go, And he just went on this rant because I told him, because he wanted to go and criticize me, blah, 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 And I told him, look, if the phone's back, we're done. 2 questions. Was anything taken from the phone? Was anything copied from the phone? Okay. Well, that's still sort of the same thing in a sense, but taken or copied. But I asked pretty much anything taken. He did not specify that anything was taken. So, because I told him too, I did not consent to searches, and I told him to get a warrant. So, it is what it is. And, on the way out there, he did his little spiel rant, and he did this, too. Goodbye, bye-bye, bye-bye. So, I think what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, is... Oh, and then, too, that's right. He it is not legal to take your phone, but this... Yeah, exactly. It's not legal, but that, try telling the guy with the buddies that have guns that will pull them out if you say if you refuse. So what I think what we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is now... Drop my watch here. Here, let me put my watch back on, ladies and gentlemen. I said rotate the device there. I began taking off my property in anticipation of being arrested. Yeah, I was in Vegas. I was in Vegas for a couple days. Time to stand. A silent citizen. Very good people. But, yeah. So, they all got all excited with this idea of direct contempt. And, see, I told you in my last stream, ladies and gentlemen, I might be getting arrested at the court. So we'll just be filing a complaint against this. Just another day, another unlawful action by the sheriff. And what kills me is the highway patrol, the local police, everybody knows who I am and calls me out by my first name, okay? But this sergeant, he felt the need that he needed to follow me back to my vehicle, the only vehicle left in the parking lot at court at 4:20 in the afternoon, okay? And take a picture of my license plate. Real big investigative scoop. Big find there. But it really questions, like, where have you been? If the highway patrol know who I am, the local police know who I am, really, now and I've come to court this many times, and now you need to take a picture of my license plate? No, that was just childish intimidation, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, he has a First Amendment right to take pictures out in public, just like I do, but he thinks that in that manner, that's gonna, like, scare me or intimidate me or be like a nanny boo boo, look, I can do the same as you do. Okay, big whoop, you used your First Amendment right too. Okay, why don't you use your First Amendment right to express that you disagree with them treating the way they're treating me? But no, you'd just rather use your First Amendment right to document me, in a way that I guess is supposed to make me feel afraid. Okay, honestly, where have you been? If the highway patrol, the local police know who I am, it's like, really, it's like, you're kind of slow on your investigation. But it's just to scare me, just to intimidate me. Like I told the sergeant, you know, I'm sorry you didn't get to arrest me today. And he said, "Oh, I will," you know. So we'll see. We'll see. Of course I'm going to request the picture that they took, but they won't give it to me. They'll cite the 6254F of the government code, say it's part of an investigation. And so it's funny, they took my phone all the way back to the chambers and everything, and the judge, you know, I guess they had a little talk about it, and what do you know, as I expected, there wasn't enough evidence because all they saw was witnessing, you know, and I told them I don't consent to searches. There was no probable cause to do a search because it wasn't in the process of, there was no witnessing it recording. It was just on standby to record. So it shouldn't even gotten that far, but I went ahead and, let them, do their thing because they wouldn't have been able to prove it. Exactly how it played out. They weren't able to prove that I was recording, so they could not charge me with contempt at this time. I don't know if they're going to try later and, try some excuse, but, they had to let it go. And so instead of just being a man, accepting the fact that hey, his phone might have just been in standby because I'm the one that said that he has to wait with his cameras outside, have his cameras wait outside the courthouse unless there's an approved media request, okay? Maybe me not doing that and letting him have his cameras in like the bunch of times I've previously let him in, almost up to a year until the past couple of months there in July, maybe then he wouldn't have to leave his phone's audio recorder on standby in the anticipation of that maybe his media request does get approved. Then he has to run all the way back outside the court. This is what they want me to do, ladies and gentlemen. If I get a media request, run all the way back outside the courthouse, back to my vehicle, or if I don't have a vehicle, wherever I've stashed my cameras somewhere safe, collect them, come back into the court, run all through security and all that, and come back to the hearing, and then begin to record. Okay, but with the audio recorder, my theory is, well, I'll leave my thing and my phone in there, and let that record, and whatever I miss, I'll have with audio, and then stop the audio once I start the video. But I guess that theory is now going to be a problem if we're going to have this harassment and then be bitched out and cursed out because of you can't control your badass attitude and just accept the fact that you couldn't arrest me. But no, you had to have a little baby tantrum, and I told the sergeant, I never treated you like this before, so there's no reason to treat me like this now. But he did this, bye-bye, 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 and this is the type of irritating behavior that they've conditioned themselves as acceptable to do, when really it's really disgusting and childish. But the ultimate reality, ladies and gentlemen, is they don't care if they act like childs. They don't care if their behavior is ridiculous. They don't care if they're acting like a 5150 that they try and, pin on other people when they do stuff like that. They don't care about that. They just want to get me angry to a point where I will, like, for example, him doing that, bye-bye, bye-bye at me. He wants me to reach out and grab his hand and smack him or do something that can justify further violence. That's why he was so angry, because he couldn't put his hands on me. He got so happy saying, "Oh, evidence, evidence, evidence." He did the little I have evidence dance. Okay? He got so excited, but then when he went back and he had a chat with the judge, and most likely the judge says, "Look, we don't have anything we don't have anything hard." He had to do that walk of shame all the way back from the judge's chambers back into the courtroom, give me back my property. But when I wasn't going to sit there and take his rant and put up with his shit, okay, as he put it, "I'm tired of playing your games." Games? You're tired of defending the First Amendment of the United States Constitution? Maybe you should find a different job. But what's really sad, ladies and gentlemen, is I sat and I had a 2-hour sit down and conversation with this fuck. I had a 2-hour conversation with this three-striped man. I was under the impression that, hey, this guy is going to help me. He's going to give me some I mean, I did take it with a grain of salt, but, you know, I was surprised how, you know, open he was and willingness to help when I originally had my complaint back in February, and I went for a 2-hour interview with the lieutenant and the sergeant, and he came in because, hey, look, this is a sergeant you're going to be dealing with. He works at the Orville Courthouse. Okay, I'm the lieutenant. I'm in charge, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, after things like, you know, there's some issues here I think we can work on and better. But now it's just been proven to me that that was just a dog and pony show, okay? Okay, because now I have 3 complaints against the sergeant that's supposed to, you know, be helping me with these issues, okay? But he just turned out to be a liar, and another one that just continues with the you know, supporting this perjury of I'm not media. And they want to say, well, that's opinion. Well, it's already been proven. And the only thing, too, the case law she brung up today, the judge, the only thing the case law she brung up to is pertaining to the actual bringing of the camera in the courtroom, okay? So there is some case law about bringing the camera in the courtroom, okay? You can't bring the camera in the courtroom. That's the case law, okay? No problem. That issue's been worked around, okay? The issue, that wasn't the issue. I mean, now that issue's been addressed, now it's been resolved, so now there's no way we can bring in the camera in the courtroom without an approved media request. Okay, issue resolved. But the other issue is this constant perpetuation that I'm not media when I'm engaging in news gathering by definition of court rules. And I cited more case law today, you know, supporting that. So now we're just going to have a 4th complaint against this sergeant, and like I told you heard, ladies and gentlemen, if you're there at the beginning of the stream, that, you know, I filed 3 complaints against this guy, and none of them are being addressed. So just file another complaint. Okay, I'll file another complaint. Okay. And the issue was not so much I mean, he did his little investigation. Okay, I wasn't gonna fight him on that thing, because, you know, he may argue, well, that they did their thing. The problem is that there was no need for his little rant and tirade and the behavior he exhibited. That was unbecoming of a deputy. There's no need to go off on that, you know, tangent of bye-bye. You know, that's exactly how a child acts. And I don't think we should be giving children guns and position of authority, because like I told the woman at the desk there, well, there's the sergeant on duty. Well, the sergeant on duty doesn't have any power or, you know, greater power to correct the other sergeant who's on duty right now, okay? You know, if you supervise a child supervising another child isn't going to correct the issue, okay? We need a figure of authority that has more power than that, okay? But like she said, there's nobody here to talk to right now. So I think what we're going to do potentially is we're going to be doing some more filming of the sheriffs increased. Might do I don't know. I am definitely filing another complaint, but I think tonight we might do a little special tonight, and all I'm going to be responding to tonight is sheriff's calls. I might not go live on that, but I think tonight and from now on, I think I should just focus my priorities on the sheriffs on the street now. Because now this is how they act at the courthouse. Well, then shit, we need to be hitting them harder on the street, documenting them. So I guess, you know, he wants my undivided attention, ladies and gentlemen. The sheriff's department seems to be the one that needs cleaning up. This, you know, this was completely unacceptable, uncalled for behavior. It's just really sad at the end of the day that we're paying for this. The taxpayers of Butte County paid for this man to have a legal tantrum, all because he couldn't arrest me. And that's really sad. It's really sad. You know, look, you couldn't arrest me. Okay, there's no need to have a fit about it. You know, the judge, you know, today in the case, okay, she denied my media request, but I didn't go off in a rant calling her a criminal, perjurer, liar, and blah, 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 because she cited reasons and made probable cause, in her opinion, to deny. The issue is this perpetuation by the DA's office that I'm not media. And it all started from the district attorney and the public defenders. Because, and to Mr. Sears, that's another issue. But you know, it didn't start with the judge. I can tell you this whole media issue didn't start with the judges, because the judges at one point were approving my media request, so they don't have any court record. Well, not only that, they don't want recordings in court. Not only that, but it's all about money, because sometimes, these transcripts, from court, they can be up to $40, $50, $100, depending on how many pages they are. So why, look at it this way, not just the fact that that's, providing a transparent record and truth, the recording, but every time I record, I'm costing them hundreds of dollars in lost transcript copy fees, okay? Because if there's not a recording, the only way you're going to know what people said is request a transcript. But when you go and watch a video of what's said, well, now you don't have to pay money for a copy of a transcript. And then there goes the revenue lost from that. No audio, no nothing. No audio, no nothing. So we're going to see what happens. And right now, I got to go get my wallet from Mr. Boutros, the gentleman whose case I was here for today. I don't know where he is, but I gave him the only thing I took out. I gave him my wallet. The only thing I took out was my ID. I don't want to show that too much, but that's the only thing. My phone, my ID, and a couple of my personal items. But I don't want them having my money. I can't be trusted in this county. For all I know, have money in there, might have less when it goes out through the jail. But who knows? Maybe he took some money. I don't know. I'm not. And then if you're watching this, George, I'm just busting your balls, okay? But I mean, that's on my fault for just giving my wallet away. But then again, I thought I was going to be unlawfully arrested. But we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying tuned. Just wanted to give that quick update. And just on a side note, I repeat, do not use your, this is your, I'm not requesting it. So, it's your choice, but I'm not requesting that you call and voice your concerns to stop harassing the cameraman. Please don't do that. Those can be effective, but I'm not asking anybody to do it. But if you want to do it, that's your choice. You are a human being with your choices, with your own body. I'm not forcing you to. I'm not forcing you not to. But some people want call floods in a matter like this. I'm not requesting a call flood. Although you're more than welcome to use your constitutionally protected right to seek redress from government officials and petition a grievance. But in this matter, I'm not requesting a call flood. I will handle it appropriately with a complaint, and we'll continue to take it from there. All right, yes, exactly. As Time to Stand says, don't bully the cameraman. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the 19 people. I think the highest we had was 20. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for tuning in. So I'll see you again next time in this continuation of the saga that is Butte County corruption.